As someone who's active in the community, what changes have you seen with conventions?
I guess I see it more from like the cosplay side. So it's almost like cosplay used to be more fun back then. You'd have like people being like, "Oh, I bought like this like pole from like Dollarama and I made my costume out of this." Or like I used like paper mache to make this. And it was like always like neat to like walk up to someone and be like, "How did you make this?" And they'd be like, "Oh, well, this is how I made it." And I didn't realize the change until I wore this costume. I like made a plug suit, I wore the costume, and then someone came up to me and they said, "Where did you buy this?" So they didn't ask me like where
Wow.
I made it anymore. They're like, "Where can I buy this costume?" And yeah, I still like going up to people, the people that you know for sure, like they made this costume, and you can like talk to them about like cosplay techniques and stuff. Because that's how I used to learn my techniques back in the day. There wasn't like many tutorials out there to like learn things. I would go up to people in conventions, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this looks great. How did you make it?" Conventions really has taken the fun out of like the process and connecting with someone because you shared the same process. You were like up for several months, like making a costume.
So, in that case, do you have an opinion you mind sharing about ready made cosplay?
I guess I don't care so much about it before, but I used to be very elitist about it. Even my stories I told you, I'm like, we're not buying our costumes, we're only making them type of thing. And I do enjoy making them still. And the costumes that I love wearing, I believe are always going to be the ones I made. But it's not, I guess it's not realistic to think that if I have 10 costumes I want to wear and I have a full-time job, every single costume I'm going to have it made. It's easier when I was in school and I was like, I'm not going to go to this class, so I can like make this costume. I'm only going to get this many in-person classes and this many online classes so I can make my costume. Like my schedule is more flexible and I was able to make more costumes. So I do see why people buy ready-made costumes now, but I just miss like the connection that I did make with people that were cosplayers because everyone made their costumes before.
I can't claim to be deep into the scene as you have been, but I do agree with your sentiments that something is lost. The community aspect has been chipped away a bit because of ready-made cosplay. I try not to be a gatekeeper with anything, but I also do feel that when you have accessibility and you start allowing everyone to participate, it does strengthen a scene, but you lose a lot of the identity. It shouldn't be peculiar to go up to someone and ask them how they made their cosplay, because when I did that back in the day, that's how you would strike up a conversation with someone, and they would tell you about how they mess up their fingers learning how to sew to do this thing, but they were able to do it, and they had to ask a friend randomly the night before for this thing because they wanted to create a prop so they can get even more authentic. And now it's like there are people who could just hop on Amazon, get whatever they need, hop on Taobao and like any site they want to, and they just get the cosplay. And again, like I have no problem with that in the sense that if you want to cosplay, you should be able to cosplay. But when you're not making any of your cosplay, when you're not doing anything aside from just looking at what's popular, so you cosplay as it, and then there are people who are going to give you recognition, but you didn't put in as much effort as someone who's the same character and they created it. It just seems kind of a miss to me, and I'm not sure if there's ever going to be a change. I actually feel there'll be more and more ready-made cosplay that will encroach on people who create their own. But I do wish that people would look back at like how cosplay used to be done back in the day, back before the big blow up, back before all the resources, and understand that there is an entire part of this craft that involves at least putting together most of your outfit, and you will love cosplay more, and you will actually get more people to be involved with you doing cosplay by making your own cosplay.
Yeah, I feel like unfortunately it's also shifted to um popularity no longer comes in skill set and everything. It comes in the way you look and how much skin you do show. I've never been about showing skin. Even like my earlier days, I went to Colossal Con and I wore like a costume. It was a bathing suit, but it had like a whole apron covering me. And anything that showed like I guess any type of skin in that costume, I never posted that photo. I I've never enjoyed getting recognition and connecting with people in that way. There's something to be said of, I guess, getting a comment like, wow, great craftsmanship, great work, and the way that makes you feel versus like, wow, you're so hot. Wow, I like your skimpy outfit. And unfortunately, cosplay is now about that.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it kind of sucks. It sucks a lot actually because it's like, come on, guys, like you're forgetting what we're all here for, right? Like I know people who were never into anime during high school. People who used to look at me side eyed when they'd see me talking so excitedly about Yu-Gi-Oh GX or whatever series I was into at the time, and now they are doing cosplay on their page, but the cosplay is they're fishing for attention, and it's like I can't assume they don't like anime now, but it's like I know you didn't like anime when we were in high school. I know you didn't like anime when we were in college. Like you never spoke about it. So unless you were projecting and you were making fun of people because you they were into that, it seems very peculiar that now you're doing that for clout and social media numbers. And again, live your life, but it's very weird energy to me.
And then people are just wearing a wig and they're like, oh, I'm this character. So it's really it's really different now. Like
Yeah,
you don't even need the costume anymore.